Good morning, guys. This is Kenzo Xtrahot-Forex. So let's go straight to our weekly analysis. Yeah, it's Monday. Yesterday, I wasn't actually available to actually do the weekly analysis. But you know what? We are here. Now we are on our economic calendar, which is actually something that you're supposed to check almost at the start of every week, mostly on Sundays, so that you can understand what's really happening on the coming days or coming week. So tomorrow, as today, we don't really have anything. Tuesday, we see CPI from Canada. I think it's going to be very, very important, especially when we saw the US one. It was going down. Plus, this week it's actually a PMI week. So, like Europe, US, Britain, we are going to receive those PMIs. Mostly, they don't really move the market that much. Also, CPI year over year for GBP, retail sales on Fridays. But we don't really have those aggressive or high impact news from the US. These other ones, they don't really move the market that much. There might be high impact, but not really aggressive. So in the world of other stuff, I saw, let's see, a US debt downgrade highlights deficit risk. So this is not going to be good for the stock market. It's actually not going to be nice. So we might start to see the dollar losing the momentum, or even the stock market might start to sell later on. But we will see. We will see what will happen. But yeah, actually, these are the things that you're supposed to know, things you're supposed to learn when you say you are a trader. You see, so we have to do this. We have to understand what's really happening on the other side, not only the technical side, right? So while we are on technical side, we can see that we are on USD CHF on a daily time frame. So it shows us that US it's still having some pressure from other pairs. We see this is CHF. We saw a nice push, but from here, I think we are going to go even lower. I'm expecting to see a continuation of a sell, especially when they say the debt US is actually downgraded, so which means it's not really a safer, it's not actually at the safer stage, which is not really good for investors. So but we'll see how will this play out. But the overall structure, we already have a nice clear structure. We are actually on a downtrend, so we just expect to continue like that. So we'll just have to wait. Around this area, as you can see, it's actually our resistance / support. So which means once the market breaks out of this, we will be expecting to continue on the lower side of this, unless if maybe the market decides to go straight to this resistance, then that is going to be something that we will actually try to wait for. But at the moment, it shows us that those weaknesses, those cracks, they're starting to show up. I hope maybe that makes sense. So let's check USD Canada. I think I also saw this on USD Canada. We see that yes, the market is still under pressure. So the market is respecting this resistance. So obviously we can see that it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days straight. The market has been respecting this level. So which means we expect to see that continuation. Plus, when we check, we are continuing with our trend. So which means we are actually not at the wrong side of the market. So we expect to continue like that with this downtrend structure. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, like, share with your friends. And yeah, just know that later on we are going to go on our live sessions. But this time, guys, I think I will be scaling down. I'm upgrading quite slower. I'm upgrading myself quite slower. So I think at this time, one way or another, someone has to take care of themselves first. So which means the knowledge that we share one way or another, it will be way too exclusive actually to me, and then slowly I will be phasing out all this, doing the analysis thing, and just do me along the way. That's why we say sometimes just support the channel by subscribing, and that actually helps us to keep doing that. But if maybe it's not really going anywhere, we're not forced to do that, and which is not actually wrong, but at the end of the day, we have to share the information here and there. And this is what I like, by the way. So that's why, if you don't mind, smash that subscribe button. So we are on GbpUsd. Yes, guys, sometimes when we are like, I see this happens almost everywhere. When traders, I don't know, it's us traders mostly. So once you start to have the skill, it's like you're forced to share. I think that it's something else. It comes with pressure and other things, which I think at the end of the day, they're not benefiting anyone. So sometimes things have to be kept to one person or maybe exclusive. And I think that way it's how people do things. I don't think maybe doctors go around sharing the information. Say, you know what, I did this, I did that. This is my strategy, this and that. But this other side, it's actually happening like that. And at the end of the day, it's too much work. But we're trying to share the knowledge here and there. It might not really be enough, but it's something. And I think maybe one way or another, someone's going to learn something. Someone is going to improve. Someone is going to lose. So it's not going to be positive all the time, right? But yeah, I hope maybe you understand. So most traders sometimes, instead of focusing on the focus like of trading, they end up doing the extra work, which sometimes it makes Forex to be extra difficult. And when you check, it's just because they're just doing extra work. You see, so even if maybe you're not teaching anyone, even if you don't really have any channel, I think the best way, just focus on whatever that you think you're gonna do as a trader. Focus on a few pairs, try to push that, and most likely it will make sense very quick. I think this year we are going to make it, guys. If you are out there trying to make it on the market, I think you are going to make it. Just have a plan, through that plan, slowly follow that plan, and I think that will create your habit of following that plan, and slowly it's going to be an automatic. You're not going to force yourself to do that because now you're used to do that. And at the end of the day, as long as you have that process, obviously things don't actually go according to the plan, but as long as you force that process, most likely the knowledge is going to be there and the results, they're going to show up. So it's not like maybe you just doing nothing. So slowly, once you start to improve, it might take years, unfortunately, but at the end of the day, the work that you put, I think is gonna come back and reward you. Most of the time, when you feel like maybe you are at your lowest, when things are not really going well, just get $10 and you grow that $10, then you're back. So that's what I like about trading. So as long as you're gonna have that knowledge and in your right state of mind, most likely not over risking, you end up doing something. I'm not saying you're gonna just make $1 million like overnight, but yes, you can. We can. Let's do that. So let's do that. So let's start to learn. Let's stop the learn quick or maybe overnight. The best thing that we can do is to learn. Try to find help. Most likely, you will try and not really get what you want, but you will learn only one thing. That 2% that you learn from someone, it's way much better than just trying to figure out things yourself. That it's a wrong way of doing things. That's why we say sometimes you have to just try and say, get a mentor. We know it's not going to teach you everything, or it's going to teach you most of the stuff, but also yourself have to be responsible for your progress. So I think that makes sense. So on GbpUsd, I think this is obvious that the market is actually on this nice uptrend. Where we are, we can see that the market respected the support area, and with the news from the US, it seems like we are going to see this continuation of a trend. So at the moment, we can't just jump in there. We'll just have to wait for the market to break out then before we continue, because if we don't wait for that, what if the market comes back and reverse around like this? So we can't just enter here. Let's wait and see the proof that the market is doing that or it's continuing, and we follow that. Unless if maybe it reverses, we will be waiting again on the support area, trying to continue going on the upside. I hope maybe that makes sense. It seems like gold is pushing up. I see almost 1% for the day. Now we are on EurUsd, so we can easily see that the market is actually going up, and this is actually good, as we can see that even GBP did the same thing. But here we already broke out of this support area, so which means we are on the other side. We are not actually on the upside structure, which is actually an uptrend. Now we are still on this downtrend, but we can see that the market seems to be struggling around the same level. So there is a chance that the market might continue with this trend if it breaks this resistance, or maybe someone can throw something like that around this level. Someone can say, Kenzo, don't you see that? I think I can see that, but I don't really want to draw trends inside other trends. So once the market broke out, we'll focus on this. Then once the market breaks this one, I think we will be ready to continue with this uptrend if it breaks that resistance. But if it doesn't, it means we might end up getting a nice move or something like that going down. So gold still seems to be trying to go higher, but we can see that the market is struggling around the same level. So we can see that, yeah, the market is actually on a nice bullish move. I have a trade on this, so but it doesn't really want to break. But I know if it breaks this area, I think we will see another move towards this area. I think my resistance is very, very far. It's supposed to be there. So I think the market will be doing that and continuing like that. So I just have this notification. If it touches here, I think I have to lock or close and wait for it to break. Then I can continue adding more positions. So this is what I see on gold. It's still on that bullish move, but since we have this softening on the geopolitics, it also seems like gold is struggling to go even higher, because the more the good news, I think we are going to see gold selling off. But this may be the US thing downgrade that might push gold to go even higher. But we'll just have to wait and see what's really happening. Don't just buy anywhere just because there is some breaking news somewhere. But we can see that the stock market is already doing that. I see Nasdaq on a -%, so that is not really good because it's still very early. What will actually happen once the market opens? So I think it's going to be obvious, but we will be waiting, as I'm not going to, I don't really like selling Nasdaq unless the structures are quite straightforward. So now we are on US30. I thought maybe by this week, oh yeah, it's still possible we might reach 4,950 there. That is the highest level that we have at the moment, but we can see that the market seems to be just playing around. And for the market to reach that, I don't think maybe it might take much of a time, but there is a possibility for the market to reach that. But we see that we have a resistance area, which the market has to break first. And yeah, I think it's quite straightforward. It's quite obvious. We're just waiting for that. If the market reverses, that's fine. We also have a support that we can rely on. We can say, okay, once the market reaches this area, we will be expecting the market to continue. But besides that, since we broke out of this downtrend structure, it means we're expecting to see a continuation of this uptrend. So which means we are currently on this uptrend structure. So Nasdaq, it was like very closer to the highest level there, but the market seems to be reversing, maybe after because of this news. But the overall structure, we can see that we are coming from this aggressive downtrend. Now I think it's our time to look for that uptrend. So we are going to move like that. At the moment, we will be just waiting for this sell-off, where it's going to stop. Is it going to reach this lowest level or the other ones? But we'll just have to wait and see. At the moment, there's nothing much we can do. Let's wait for the market to do its thing before we jump on the market. So anyways, I think for those who liked the analysis, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, like, share with your friends. For those who want to be part of the team, just let me know. You can pause the video and you can see the subscription that you want there. So you can also WhatsApp me there, but check the description. You'll find the link that will take you straight to my WhatsApp. So thank you very much. This is Kenzo, Xtrahot-Forex. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.